What we're gonna discuss today is one of the mitzvahs in the Torah that it's really not simple to fulfill. I think everyone knows this mitzvah, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. And this actually, in a series that we started about relationships, we spoke in the former two lectures about relationships or what's the Torah perspective about this. One of the things that for sure connected to this is this mitzvah. It's not just between husband and wife or relationship between, it's a general mitzvah. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha is a mitzvah to love every Jew. So let's try to understand this mitzvah, and then you'll see how it's not simple. It's not that simple to fulfill it. Of course, we have to ask ourselves the first question, the first very fundamental question: what is love? Ve'ahavta, there is a mitzvah to love. What is love? The next question, you know what? Let's assume. I could say this assumption because that's the answer that I got from many people when I asked this question, what is love? So there are different opinions, but the bottom line is a strong feeling that you have towards someone or towards something, right? Strong feeling of connection or want to be connected. If this is the answer, the next question is obvious. How could you be commanded to love? It's a mitzvah, right? Same mitzvah to put on tefillin, to sit in a sukkah, to eat matzah. It's a mitzvah to love. If it's a feelings, so if I have them, I don't have to be commanded. If I have these feelings. If I don't, and someone will command me, love, there is a button that you push, and then love comes. How do you love as a mitzvah? The next question is the next word. Ve'ahavta l'reacha. What is l'reacha? So in Hebrew, not in this translation. This translation is wrong. You shall love your fellow. Oh, actually, it's close to, it's better. I saw other translation, love your neighbor. The way you love yourself, right? Neighbor, where's the neighbor here? Ve'ahavta l'reacha. Reacha is your friend. So, fellow is better, but it says l'reacha. Fellow is just someone next to me. Your fellow, your friend. Love your friend. So again, the question is, if I am commanded to love my friends, the fact that they are my friends shows that I have connection to them already. If not, I will not keep them as my friends. So what is the mitzvah to love your friend? So you have to understand the meaning of this notion, friend. Next, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, what that means. Kamocha is as you love yourself. So if you analyze it, you will find out that there is an assumption over here. There is a hidden assumption. What is it? That you love yourself. This is the assumption, that you love yourself. And now, the Torah commands you, love your friend the way you love yourself. So let's ask two questions. First of all, is it automatically that everyone loves themselves? This is an assumption. And if the answer is yes, be aware of the mitzvah over here. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Meaning, you are not fulfilling the mitzvah of love your friend unless you love your friend exactly the way you love yourself, not less. Kamocha. Because if not, it could say ve'ahavta l'reacha. The kamocha said not less than you love yourself. And then the next two words, Ani Hashem, what that means. This is one of the 600 mitzvahs in the Torah. If you go through them, you will not find out that after each mitzvah, it says, Ani Hashem. Of course, Hashem is the commander of all the mitzvahs. Why in particular over here? This is not the only place. But it's not on every mitzvah. So we have to find out why here and why in the mitzvahs that it's mentioned, why it's mentioned. So we have a big work to do in order to really understand this. So this mitzvah is known. Now, many people knows about this, that there is such a thing. Love your friend the way you love yourself. But there is another mitzvah that all of us know, but never really deeply think about it. Same mitzvah, same words, not about your friends. We should say it every day, at least 2 times, if not more. You know this? Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Next words, ואהבת את השם אלוקיך. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, ואהבת את השם אלוקיך. So, how do you do this? What do you mean love Hashem? In all your heart. ואהבת את השם אלוקיך בכל לבבך. So again, we have to ask ourselves, what is love? But from here we could prove something very clear. That love is not what you think. If you could answer this question, what is love? How people explain love? Not just about your friend. Let's say in the relationship between husband and wife. So what is love? Connection, hug, physical connection? Couldn't be. Why? Because the Torah uses the same words, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, when it's related to Hashem, ואהבת את השם אלוקיך, same words. And because Hashem has no body, and yet you obligated to love Him, it means that love is not in the physical realm. It's not. Between us and Hashem for sure. But what that says is that it's not also between you and your fellow friend or between you and your wife. Love is not physical. So what is it? This is a question. I want to answer this question. It's very deep.
Wait, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know that
My
love
questions are not enough. You want to add one? Go ahead.
How do we know that love is not physical?
How do you love Hashem physical? Hugging Him? It says here,
But
"V'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha," right?
Just to have the emotional feeling.
So either way, it's not physical.
Doing mitzvot, it's physical, mitzvot.
Wait,
It's a
either
feeling.
way, it's not physical, right?
You're right, it's a feeling, yeah?
No, I didn't say that. But it could not be a hug. It could not be expressed by physical action, right? It proves from here, and the Torah uses the same words. "Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha." So in order to really understand this, let me introduce you to a story that you might know, but even if you know it, I promise you will never hear it the way I'll present it. It's a story from the Talmud. The Gemara bring this story, but let's analyze it right. It's a Gemara Masechet Shabbat, Perek Lamed Aleph. I'm sorry, Daf Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph. So the story goes like this. מעשה בנוכרי אחד שבא לפני שמאי was a foreigner, a non-Jew, who came to Shammai. Shammai was the head of the Sanhedrin, actually the second to the head. The president of the Sanhedrin at the time was Hillel, and he was the one in the first level of the other. In the Sanhedrin you have 71 people. The 71 is the president, and the 70 goes in the order of their wisdom, their whatever. So he was the head of the 70, Shammai. It's called Av Beit Adin. There is a president, the Nasi, that was Hillel, and he was the Av Beit Adin. Okay. So came to him a goy, a non-Jew. He wanted to convert. אמר לו, he told him, גיירני על מנת שתלמדני את כל התורה כולה כשאני עומד על רגל אחת. I want to convert. Let me tell you a few things about this gentleman, this individual, this guy. He was smart enough to know, he was honest, first of all. And he was smart enough to know that if you want to join the group, to join the nation, you have to understand the rules. You have to understand, what do you mean you have to be a Jew? If you go to join any club, you have to know the rule of the club, right? So he wanted to be Jewish. He probably heard the magic number 613. You know about it. And therefore he came to Shammai that he will teach him. Lamdaini. That's what he asked him to teach me. Lamdaini. What he wants to learn? The Torah. למדני כל התורה כולה כשאני עומד על רגל אחת, when I'm standing on one foot. So, he was honest. He wanted to learn Torah, but he put this funny condition. Let's say it in different words. I want to be Jewish. I want to learn what being Jewish means. So I'm willing to learn the Torah, but I'm asking you, listen, ready. Don't send me to yeshiva now for 5 years or 15 years to learn. I have no time for this. Could you summarize the entire Torah to me when I'm standing on one foot? Give me the principle. Then tell me what is it. I want to learn Torah. I understand that I have to learn before I joining, but could you summarize it to me when I'm standing on one foot? Even an acrobat that could stand on one foot for a long time, but it's not enough to learn the entire Torah. So that's what he asked Shammai. So the Gemara says that Shammai refused to do it. דחפו באמת הבניין שבידו, he just pushed him away and he told him, it's impossible. Let me say it in strong words. He told him, listen, you want to convert? You understand that you need to learn Torah? Yes, right? You do not have time, right? So go home. When you have time, come back. That's actually what he told him. It's impossible. I can't summarize the entire Torah when you're standing on one foot. You have to learn it. So he just rejected him and told him it's impossible. So this individual, this guy, was this guy was determined. And he really wanted to learn the Torah. He really wanted to be converted. So he went to Hillel. Hillel was the president of the Sanhedrin at the time. So he went to him with the same thing. I'm a Gentile, I want to be Jewish, I want to convert, I know I have to learn. Teach me the entire Torah when I'm standing on one foot. Hillel looked at him and saw that he is honest. He really he's not just want to make jokes. But he is naive. So Hillel knew what Shammai knew, that it's impossible to teach him the entire Torah when he's standing on one foot. But Hillel has more patience for him. He tricked him. He told him something amazing, and let's see what he told him. He told him, okay, I'll convert you. You want to learn the entire Torah? Let me tell you what the entire Torah is. The entire Torah, that's what Hillel told him. אמר לו, דעלך שני לחברך לא תעבד. This is the entire Torah. In our words, he told him the following. To be Jewish, it means don't do to others what do you hate that people do to you. Things that you hate that people will do to you, you will never do to others. Really? This is the meaning to be Jewish? Apparently, every good person will agree with this without being Jewish. Don't hurt others, of course. So the question is, few questions. First of all, how Hillel said that? This is the entire Torah. And it says, אמר לי, דהלך סני לחברך לא תעבד, what do you hate people to do to you, you don't do to your friends, to the others, זוהי כל התורה כולה. This is the entire Torah. How could he not say such a thing? First of all, there is no such a thing in the Torah. This sentence not written in any place in the Torah. The closest thing to this in the Torah, one of the mitzvahs, is ואהבת לרעך כמוך. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, love your friend the way you love yourself. So, the implication of this will be, if I love others the way I love myself, I will not hurt them the same way I don't want people to hurt me. But it's not a mitzvah, even this is not a mitzvah in the Torah. It's not written this way, it's just the implication of the mitzvah in the Torah. Second question, how Hillel could say that? Zot kol haTorah kula. What about Shabbat? What about Yom Kippur, Matzah bePesach, sitting in the sukkah, all the mitzvahs, nothing? Is that the entire Torah? So, many people who heard this story are very happy with this. So it's very simple to be Jewish. You do not have to do anything, just be a nice person. Is that Jewish? This is a Jewish stuff? Every Gentile, every normal Gentile in the world will do the same thing without being Jewish. So the thing is that people cut it off in the middle. It's not the entire thing that he told them. He continued. Now listen to the entire thing that he told him. אמר לו, he told him, Hillel told him, דהלך סני לחברך לא תעבד, anything that you hate that people will do to you, don't do to others. זוהי כל התורה כולה. But he continued. ואידך, what's ואידך? ואידך is the translation of the word, ואידך, and the rest. Let's say it's one mitzvah out of the 613. What about the rest, 612? So we continue. We told them, and the rest, peirushahu. The rest of the mitzvahs, the 612 rest of the mitzvahs, are the explanation of this one. Meaning, this one by itself, it's impossible. Impossible to love others the way I love myself. It's impossible. But if God, the creator of the human being, commanded us, it means that what we think impossible, actually possible. How the impossible will be possible? There is an explanation. You know what is the explanation? 612. So he told them, there is no shortcut. You want to know what the meaning of being Jewish, and then we have to explain why this is the meaning of being Jewish. Only Jews, again, by the way, could do this. It's not an international thing. And even though I said before, it just seems like be a nice guy. So everyone could be a nice guy. No, this is the entire Judaism. It's impossible. In order to understand how the impossible is possible, you have to learn the explanation. The explanation includes 612 mitzvot.
But who says
Wait,
it's impossible?
Zilgmo. Let's finish. Zilgmo, go learn. Meaning you have no choice. I now gave you the entire Judaism when you're standing on one foot. But what I told you is an enigma. I just awake your curiosity. Now, you're hooked. You want to understand this? You have no choice but go to learn the 612 mitzvot. And of course, I have to explain what I just said. What do you mean that this is the entire Judaism? And why it's impossible? And why the impossible will be possible only if you learn the explanation, and the explanation are the 612 mitzvot. This is what we'll try to explain now. Okay? Any questions before?
Yeah, why did you say the premises that it's impossible?
Oh, yeah, okay. I have to explain everything that I say. I'm going to explain this, but I explain also the other stuff. Okay, so let's start the journey. It's a very interesting one. The key over here, the key, is the word kamocha. ואהבת לרעך כמוך. We spoke about this in brief in other shiurim, but I want to repeat it now because some of the people didn't hear it. And even those who heard it, it's good to hear the truth again and again and again. The hidden assumption over here, as I said before, is that you love yourself. Now the Torah said, after you love yourself, you have to love others the way you love yourself. But it's not. The assumption is not necessarily true. Is it true that everyone loves themselves? I personally know few people that really hate themselves. And it's not rare. It's not a rare thing. Not everyone loves themselves. It's not simple to love yourself. Why? Because before you love someone, you have to know who do you love. So the first thing is not just to love yourself, but to know who are you in order to love it. And people do not know themselves. And that's why they're missing something that caused them not to love themselves. So we have to start from the beginning. Who you are. Who is a person? And why so many people do not know themselves. The Torah teaches us that a human being is a combination of a body and a soul. ויצר השם אלוקים את האדם עפר מן האדמה ויפח באפיו נשמת חיים. A human being is a physical made of dust of the first man. Dust from earth. That was the raw material that from it Hashem created the body. And to this body, he added the neshama, the soul. Now, if you go around the world, ask people who they are, they'll tell you very funny answers. They'll tell you their name. Who are you? My name is Joe. My name is David. But it doesn't tell me anything about who you are. Or they tell you their profession. I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a barber. A lot of things, a lot of ideas. It's not who you are, it's what you're doing. Who you are. Who are you? And if you think it's simple to understand this, go look at the mirror. You see yourself, right? Really? No. You see your body. You do not see yourself. We spoke about this, if you remember. Me is not my body. Be aware of the way you just say it. My body. My body meaning there is an honor that this body belongs to him. So me and my body are not the same. My body is my body. So who am I? So apparently, I'm not my body, so I'm my personality. So what is personality? Maybe my soul? That's not true either. Why? Because we sing in the morning when we thank Hashem that He gave us another day to live, we say, Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora. We thanking God that He gave us be in me. You gave in me the neshama. Natata bi. Neshama shenatata bi. So the neshama is not me either. It's something that was given or put in me. So if I'm not my body, because my body is my body, and I'm not my neshama because the neshama was given in me, who am I? So we spoke about this a little bit. The answer is, me is real me, is the connection between the body and the soul. The body, we got. No one of us planned their body. I said that before, right? No one of us decided, no one asked us if we want to be born. To what kind of parents? Where on the world? Where in the history? No one was asked. You were giving this. It's not you. No one of us was asked what neshama we're going to get. Hashem decided and He put the neshama. So where I comes to the picture. I come to the picture when I have those two gifts, my body and my soul, And now I have to make decision what to do with them. The body pulled me this way, the neshama pulled me that way, and I have to decide. And when I make the decision, here I start to build myself. This is me. Me is my decision because I make my decision. Not Hashem made the decision for me. Hashem gave me the body, Hashem gave me the soul. What's relate to me is what I created. And I create my decision. And this is what. How many people knows that?
Wow.
If you do not know who you are, how could you love yourself? So you have first to understand that there is a body and the soul. And you have to now run them, manage them. And if you will make wrong decision and prefer the interest of the body over the interest of the soul going to be upset and you're not going to be happy. If you'll be very spiritual on account of the body will be upset. And then you will not be happy either. And you could not love yourself. Because you love yourself when both get what they need and works in harmony. Okay, so this is the background of the story of Hillel. Comes this Gentile to Hillel, to Shammai and Hillel, and asks them, teach me the entire Torah. What is the Torah? Be aware of this. The word Torah in Hebrew, the meaning of the word, the translation of the word Torah are instructions. Torah li et haderech, show me the way. I said that and I repeat this. When do you need instructions? When anyone needs instructions? When they do not know. If I know, I don't need someone to tell me what to do. I know what to do. If Hashem gave us Torah, everything in the Torah that Hashem gave us, it means that we, by ourselves, will never be able to really understand it. The Torah are the instructions, the GPS. Show me the way, where to go. When I'm using the GPS, when I'm in a place that I'm not familiar with the streets, I don't know, then I use the GPS. If I know, I'm not bothering to use the GPS, I know it. If Hashem gave us Torah, it means that without the Torah, we have no clue what to do with ourselves. And we don't. And people who think that they know are like those people who do not know the way and say, you know what, I don't need the GPS, it's extra. I could manage. Usually they find themselves getting lost. Usually, if they in a place that they are not familiar with. Why do I need Torah? In order to know how to live. We could see so many people without the Torah that seems that they managing, right? It seems they are not managing. What do I mean? You could live yourself, your life, and this is an amazing thing if you think about it. You could live the entire life when you use certain percentage of your potential and feel good about it, and you have no clue that you miss the vast majority of your potential. Many people live their life when they understand themselves as a physical entity. So for them, what is the meaning to live good life? To give the body whatever the body needs. This is, in the good case, 50%, because the body is 50% of who you are. You have a soul. You have nothing. You do not know what is the soul. Therefore, you never relate to it in your life. Therefore, you could live 120 years, living partial life, and have an illusion that you made it, when you actually lost the vast majority of your potential. And even physical life, people do not know how, they're confused, and they do not know how to really live them in the good way for the physical. So the Torah that Hashem gave us, and this is the blessing that we thank Him. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Bless you, Hashem. We're blessing you. We're thanking you so much that you chose us, the Jews, from all the nations of the world and gave us the Torah. What is the blessing about? He gave us the opportunity to live full life, to fulfill all our potential, the physical and the spiritual. And you have to understand, it's not physical and spiritual. It's a combination of this with this, which is different. I'm not living, in other religions, which is all fake and all stolen from us and twisted. They have, let's take a religious person, non-Jew, a religious person. What religion asks from the people who perform the religion? Live your physical life the way you want. Here and there, do spiritual things. So you're actually living physical, and sometimes you do spiritual. So you take and divide it to two things, and you do this and you do this sometimes. Judaism not asking you to do that. Judaism is asking you to combine every physical thing or need with the spiritual meaning of it. Don't ever separate between the physical and the spiritual, but give spiritual meaning to a physical action. This is Judaism. So it teaches you not just to fulfill the needs of physical and the needs of the spiritual, but to combine them. Make the connection between the physical and the spiritual. And those are the mitzvot. When you do it, you fulfill your potential. When you fulfill your potential, you are happy. Happiness is a function of completion. When things are whole, then happiness is an automatic outcome. When things are missing, you're not happy. So, when Herod wanted to trick this Gentile and taught him a lesson that you could not have shortcuts. You have to learn the entire Torah. So how did he trap him? He gave him the most impossible mitzvah in the Torah. Love other the way you love yourself. But in order to love other, you have to love yourself. In order to love yourself, you have to know who you are. If you know who you are, you will understand that it's not easy to love yourself, because in order to do it, you have to connect every part of your physical with the spiritual. And here, let's add another thing that mentioned, part of it in the Gemara and part of it in the Kabbalah. We know, as I said, the magic number 613. This number divided to two groups. The entire mitzvahs, the entire commandments are 613, but they divided. There are positive mitzvot aseh, you should do this, and mitzvot lo ta'aseh. Mitzvot lo ta'aseh, don't do. Okay? How many? 248 from the mitzvahs of the Torah are positive actions. Do this, do this, do this. Mitzvot aseh. 365 are don't do. Don't do. In the body, the physical body, we have 248 limbs. And we have 365 wires, gidim, that connect the entire scallion, the gidim. So the gidim are the parallel to mitzvot lo ta'aseh, and the evarim, the limbs, are parallel to mitzvot aseh. That's mentioned in the Gemara. In the Kabbalah it says, Rabbi Chaim Vital, the disciple of the Ari HaKadosh, says that in the neshama there are 613 parts. And every mitzvah that you do, you connect the spiritual part of the neshama, one of those 613, to the physical limb in your body. This way the mitzvahs give you a way to operate in harmony, the physical and the spiritual. And that will make you complete.
Shalem shalom.
Right. So, that's what he means. Hillel told him, listen, you have to love yourself. You have to love your fellow friend. And by the way, let me say what the Gemara said about Lereacha. I asked, what do you mean, Ve'ahavta Lereacha? Lereacha, the accurate translation of Lereacha is your friend. Not your neighbor and not your fellow, your friend. This is the meaning of the word. So I asked, if this person is my friend, why I have a commandment to love him? He's my friend. It means that I love him. If not, I will not have him as a friend. So the Gemara said, the meaning of this, Ve'ahavta le'reacha, reacha is a Jew. That's why they didn't translate it to English, because it doesn't seem good. Right? But this is the meaning. You have to know, every person in the world, non-Jew, have 7 mitzvot. Sheva mitzvot b'nei Noach, 7 mitzvot of Noach, right? None of them is to love your friend. The 7 mitzvot are not including love. If you are not Jewish, it's okay if you will not love anyone. There is no mitzvah to love. You have to respect, you have not to hurt, fine, but there is no mitzvah to love. To love is a mitzvah only for Jews. To love every Jew. Reacha is reacha b'mitzvot. Reacha, that you have something in common with him. What is it? That you both said in Har Sinai, Na'aseh v'nishma. That will make him your friend. He is your friend in this. And every Jew, have to love every other Jew. ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Now, a healthy person love himself. What do I mean by this? As I said, love is good feelings towards something. When I love myself, it means that I have good feelings towards myself. Who am I? The body and the soul and the harmony between them. This is me. So if I'm aware of this and do this harmony, I love myself for sure. If I don't love myself, it shows that something is missing. Either you do not really complete the needs of your body or your soul or the harmony between them. That could cause you not to love yourself. So in order to love yourself, you have to know your body and your soul and the interaction between them. For this, you need Torah. You need instructions. Therefore, you could not love yourself if you will not know the Torah. Because the Torah is the connection between the body and the soul. The 613 part of the body is 613 part of the soul. Now look at the secret. What's ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha? So, what is love? And how anyone could be commanded me? What's the logic of commanding me to love? So let me tell you the following. When I'm going around the world and I see things, I see things from very, very specific point of view or perspective. Proof, 2 people with a good eyesight could go and see something, everyone will see something else. Come to the room, okay? Now we all here in this room, describe the room. Describe what do you think there is in the room. Some people will say, wow, nice picture. Some people will say, wow, so many books. Chairs, couch. It's all true, but it's all partial true. You emphasize this because this what you notice. Why do you notice it? You know what I notice? Something that I care about inside. If I don't care, I don't see it. Let me give you a very strong example. Imagine two friends going for a walk in a very unique forest with a lot of foliage around. And they enjoy, they're talking, they both have good pairs of eyes, good vision. When they're walking, suddenly one stopped them and said, look at this plant over here. You'll see a certain flower or bush or something. So his friend will look and say, yeah, nice plant, nice flower. His friends will tell him, there's something wrong over here. He's not sure what he means. He looked again at the flower and said, what's wrong with that? It's a very nice flower. So his friend will tell him, listen, you do not understand. This flower should not be here. What do you mean? What bothers you with this plant? It's very nice, it's here. What's wrong with this? Then he'll explain to him, he will say, this is a very specific, unique flower. In order to grow, we need certain climates. And this climax is not suitable. How this is here and it's growing when it's not the right climax? So his friends will tell him, listen, I never learned botanic, so I'm not sure, I never knew that there is a problem. They both saw it. One realized that there is a problem, and the other one could go and will not notice any problem. What is it? It's not the sight. It's how do you look at things. Pre-knowledge could make things that look for others trivial very problematic from your point of view because of knowledge that you have. And this is an example. The bottom line is, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the Zohar HaKadosh, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said that so many times. Let me quote you what he said. He said the following: Oy lehem labriot, sheroot ve'einan yodot mahen root. Woe for the people that look around the world and see things and they have no clue what they see. That's exactly what he said. You could see things and do not understand the significance of it. The possibility of it, the impossibility of it. For you it looks trivial because you do not know. This means the following. When I go and meet people, let's say, I meet a new person that I never met in my life. What do I see? The answer is depend how do you look at yourself. If you think about you, that you are a body, when you meet someone, you meet a body. When you understand yourself as a soul in a body, when you see people, you do not see bodies, you see souls in bodies. And it's a completely different thing. Because if you see bodies is material. The respect is different, everything is different. If you see a neshama, wow, this is a neshama. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, you could love your fellow friend only if you love yourself. But to love my physical self, it's not a big deal. Because my physical needs are there since day one. I'm aware of them. To know that I have a neshama, I have to learn that I have a hidden spiritual dimension that I could not see in the mirror. This takes works to realize that you are not just physical animal. You have a spiritual entity. ואהבת לרעך כמוך. So, let's summarize what we know now. In order to love others, you have to love yourself. Anyone who do not love himself will never be able to love others. In order to love myself, I have to know who am I. I have to be aware that I'm a body and a soul, and the combination of them and the harmony of them, then I love myself. After I know that, when I see other people, I could judge them not based on their physical, obvious appearance, which is their body. I will judge them or relate to them through who really they are, the hidden spiritual dimension that in a body. And this way, you could love every Jew. Even Jews, again, we ask, how can be a commandment to love every Jew? I want to love every Jew. I want. But what can I do? They're giving me so many reasons not to love them. So could I force myself to love them? The answer is yes. Differentiate between what they do to who they are. They could do wrong stuff, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they have a Jewish high-level soul. So you have to love them and hate their action. That's okay, but you have to love them. And even if you see a Jew that behaves so wrong, you have to know that he has a Jewish neshama. He has a very high-level soul. And he could change his ways. And therefore you have to love him. And actually I have to tell you, as one who deal with Kiruv and try to bring Jews back to the Torah and to Hashem, I could tell you this, and I really feel it, and I really believe that it's so true. You could not be mekarev, bring back to Judaism anyone if you do not really love them. Even when you make them, they seem so far, and they do so wrong, but you have to differentiate and love their potential, and their action is something that they could fix. Their entity is their spirituality. This way you could love everyone. Now here's the connection between all those three words, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, to the following, Ani Hashem. Why Ani Hashem, we ask, right? So there is a rule. This is not, as I said before, this is not the only mitzvah in the Torah that after the mitzvah it says Ani Hashem. But it's not in all the mitzvahs, actually in very few. What's the common denominator? Says Rashi, every time after a mitzvah it says Ani Hashem, it's a mitzvot ha-mesurot lalev. It's a mitzvot that no one could judge you, only Hashem. No one could really judge your attitude, only Hashem. Because it's hidden in your heart. What do you think? Why here it's address the heart? Because it's not a physical, it's a spiritual. The Ani Hashem here just actually referring us to this. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha. You could not love yourself. What's a problem for me to love myself? If I'm looking at myself as a physical entity and ignore my spiritual, my neshama. In order to be aware of my neshama, I have to be aware of Hashem. My neshama is not physical. I could not see it or feel it in my senses, physical senses. I need to use my mind and ability to think to realize that I have a neshama. So in order to realize that you have a neshama, you have to realize that there is Hashem. After you learn ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha, you could love yourself. There is a connection between those two. So therefore, and how do you know Hashem? How do you realize that there is Hashem? So we spoke about this. This mitzvah is not simple mitzvah to love Hashem. How do you love Hashem? Apparently, again, you could not love someone that you never met. You never saw, you never feel. Hashem is not physical. So how could you love someone that you never met? The answer is by seeing his action. I always give this example. When I was a kid, I loved books. I read so many books. And I really was a bookworm. Read. At certain time, I love mystery books. I was young, that was my hobby. I loved mystery books, and the more it's deep, and that awake my curiosity. Someone told me once, you love mystery book, there is a author by the name, he's British, his name is Alistair MacLean, and he wrote very good mystery books. I said, no, I never heard about him before. I said, okay, if you like mystery books, it's good that you put your hand on one of those books. So I went to the library. At the time, I spoke only Hebrew, I didn't speak English, so it was in English, so British English. I asked if they have a translation to Hebrew of one of the works, or the books of this Alistair MacLean. And they say yes. I got one book, I read it, and it was really good. So I asked about another book. And I read another and another and another book. He wrote a few books, and each one of them was even better than the other. One of the things that I remember, that was the process that I went through. When you love mystery books, you have a challenge when you open the new book to know what will be the end of the story. This is the challenge. Can I figure it out during? And a good mystery book give you hint here, but do not really reveal it until the end. In the last page, then it's throw the boom and everything explained, right? So when I read those books, my challenge was to learn how this author works, and after 2-3 books, in the next book, I want to know or calculate where he is leading. And I succeeded to do this. And I start to fall in love with the way of thinking of this author. And for me, it was a great example of how could you love someone that you never met. Read his books or do his work, artwork. That's exactly what Hashem did. Hashem made an artwork, amazing artwork called universe. It's so sophisticated, it's so complicated. And when you try to really understand it and you get some, you're so happy that you got it. You got what he meant here, what he meant there. The creator of the universe did 2 things. He created an artwork, the universe, and he wrote the book. Read the book. Read the book, you're gonna fall in love with him. The book is the Torah. The Torah is so sophisticated and so complicated with all those levels, Pshat, Remes, Drash, and Sod. And the more you learn, you understand that you just touch the tip of the iceberg. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the author without seeing him. But learning his book, learn his creation. That's the way to love Hashem. If you love Hashem, you know that you are not just another animal. God says that He created you in His image. And He gave you neshama. And neshama, the Zohar says that neshama has qualities that some qualities of the neshama are equal to the qualities of God. Some, not complete. So you're going to love yourself. You're going to love your neshama because you love God. So it started from God. Therefore, Ani Hashem. Without Ani Hashem, you will never know who you are, and you will never see it in your friends, and you will never be able not to love yourself and not to love your friend. You have to love Hashem to love yourself and then love your friend. So this is the secret of love in all level, and especially in marriage. What stupid people do today? What they call love. What they call love? Hug. Physical contact. Physical contact could not be love. And this is the proof. Love is spiritual to spiritual. Neshama to neshama. The fact that this neshama is in a body, okay, but the base should not be the body, should be the soul. In order for it to be the base, you have to know Hashem, you have to love Hashem, you have to love yourself. Then you'll meet, if you're a boy, you meet a girl, you do not see the body. I'm not saying the body is not important, but what is the major thing? The personality. It's nice if it's in a good wrap, but it's just a wrap. It's not the main thing. If this is the base of the connection, this marriage is going to be successful. If the base of it is the physical needs of today is not the physical of tomorrow. And therefore it will not hold. So this is the secret of love. And that's what we learned today about this issue, this topic. There's a lot of more, but for today, that's enough. Thank you for your attention.